Hey guys, Jared Tebo here, just building a fresh two-wheel for the Reedy race. Figured I would share how I build my diff. First thing I do is clean my out drives. Just some regular motor spray, and just kind of clean where the rings are going to go. Normally they just have some, I don't know, mold or leaves or some sort of film on them. Then pick a different spot on your rag. Do the same thing to your rings. And with the Kyosho rings, there's a kind of a flat side and a round side. I always try to set them down, flat side down, so I know which way they are later. So next thing, get the clear grease, put them on the out drive where the rings are going to go. Want to coat it on pretty good, and then I put the flat side down onto the out drive, and then add more grease to the top of the diff ring. So pretty good amount. You want no just ring showing. You want all the grease on it. Do this to both out drives. Same thing when you're putting it on the out drive. You don't really want any of the out drive showing. You want to have it all covered in the grease. So then put the other ring on, flat side down. Do the same thing, add some more grease to the ring here. Then I'll just put my bearings on here just so I can put the, after I get my balls in the gear and everything, then I can just put the gear right on the out drives. Get my bearings on. Now, just using my finger, just get some grease. Just kind of fill the holes in the diff gear. You can't really use too much grease, so it's important to use a lot of grease. Get the holes all filled in, and then I'll kind of just get a little grease on my fingers. Start grabbing all the balls here, putting them in their spots, not pushing them down yet. So I'm just use a 1.5 and just pop all the balls in. Sometimes, like that one and that one, they'll pop all the way through. They're a little bit tight in the RB6 diff gear. Apparently a bunch of these want to pop all the way through. It's not a big deal. We'll just flip it over. Push those ones all back in. Alright, so now all the balls popped in. This is the side that I first put all the grease in. So I just kind of wiped it smooth. And I'll flip it over to the back side, get quite a bit more grease, and do the same thing on this side. Just coat over the balls with the grease pretty heavy. Like I said, you can't really have too much grease. You can definitely have too little, and then your diff will go dry pretty quick. You don't want that. So now, as you can see, it's all full of grease, both sides, and I will just pop it on. I normally put it on the male side first, just to get that bearing popped into the gear nice and smooth. Put the other side on. Kind of just turn the out drives a little bit. You'll have a whole bunch of grease oozing out. I'll just take that off with my finger. Flip it over, do the other side. You just want to use all that grease so it gets in all around the balls and fills in all the gaps and everything. You know, you'll lose a lot once you kind of put it together, but you want to have that extra grease when you're building it, so when it goes together, it just pushes in all the cavities and everything. So now you have basically the diff put all together. So now you have the thrust balls. Use a black grease on that. So I just take the thrust screw, put one washer on, and what I do, use my 1.5 again, dip it into the black grease, and just put a coat down on the ring down here, or the washer, or whatever you want to call that. Put it on pretty good, and then just start grabbing the thrust balls. You want to have some grease on your wrench so you can grab them. And I'll just start pushing them into place. Go all the way around the screw. After I have all the balls in, I'll dip into the grease again and just kind of try to coat over them all. So you can see here they're pretty much all covered with the black grease. Then you put the washer on top, and what I'll do here, I'll just kind of run my finger down it, and it will push the ball in and push grease, you know, in the gaps there, and just kind of clean it up a little bit, so then none of the balls are sticking out or anything. Should go down pretty easily. Next step is the spring. You want to squeeze it with pliers a few times. Just breaks it in. And then on the Kyosho disc, it's nice. You have this indentation here with a slot, and the screw goes on that side. So I'll put the spring in, put the nut in the little plastic holder thing down. That's the true terminology, the plastic thing. Push that down with the X-Acto blade, flip it over, and slide your thrust down. Went down nice and smooth because you smoothed out the grease spot. And then just barely start the threads there on the nut. You know, then it's kind of tight. Seems like when I do them, I kind of have to mess around with the, you know, loosen it, tighten it a little bit. So I'll back it off you know, you don't want it too tight. I'll spin it with it real loose, make sure everything's nice and straight. And then I can start tightening it down, kind of just checking how it feels. As you start tightening it, some more grease will come out. Just wipe it out with your finger. And boom, freshy diff. Feels pretty smooth. You know, after you build it, next step, put it in the car, break it in, and look for another JTP video to show you how to do that. Thanks.